Friend Friday. No Prisoners podcast. Make sure you guys slap that red pill in the repost button. Just drop that link over here on Pilled. Join us in studio. We'd love to have you. Good morning. We've got news on Donald Trump's sentencing today, waiting for that any minute. Got some political stuff. Of course, we're going to talk some more about the wildfires. We did a deep dive on that yesterday on the Subs Only stream. It's going to be an awesome, fun Friend Friday, guys. So buckle up, get yourself some coffee. See you guys in about 2 minutes. Let's go. Jibbity bingity bang bang. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Fun Friend Friday to you. It's your boy, 451 Actual. Got my co-host, Kevin, in the house. Of course, with it being Fun Friend Friday, we get to bring in you guys that want to come and hang out. We got Bert Cocaine already in here. Bert, how are you, dude? Uh-oh. Can't hear you, dude. That's okay. Get your stuff worked out there.
Dude, man, good enough. Oh, sorry about that.
Hey, there you are. You're good.
Microphone because I got 30 of them.
Oh yeah, it always does that. Yeah, it's a little tricky.
Yeah,
just a little tricky.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good morning to you. Good to have you. Kevin, how are you this morning?
Baking bread. Doing well. Happy Friday.
Yeah, Kevin's got a busy weekend.
Does he?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he does.
Yes.
So do
Yep.
I. I
But
hear you, brother.
he's still ready to kick some butt on
Yes.
this Fun Friend Friday. We got a lot of stuff to get into, guys. Been an awesome week. I really appreciate everybody's support. Speaking of which, we got misinformation coming in with 118 gold pills. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate you. Come on, you
We
little
will
joker.
make America great again.
Yeah, we will. And then Burt Cocaine, thank you so much for the phone. Really appreciate that.
You're very
Gotta go
welcome,
full
my
screen
friend.
on this one.
Throw your hands in the air if he's a true player.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that.
Always.
All right, let's see who else we've got in the house here. We got Video Demon Slayer. Good morning to you. Salty in San Diego said, so salty today. Yes, I have a feeling the salt mines are going to be quite rich today. We were briefly watching the mainstream media as they salivate over Donald Trump's sentencing.
Oh.
They even had the audacity after they had to swallow the bitter pill of Joe Biden pardoning Hunter that they tried to spin back up the nobody's above the law narrative this morning. Oh man, so it's gonna be a tasty
pathetic.
day. Yeah, it is so pathetic. They've talking about Donald Trump's on Zoom, right? Well, he should be in the courtroom and he's sitting there leaning back and shaking his head and he thinks he should be treated differently. Oh, really? So yeah, they're trying to spin that narrative back up. So funny. But anyway, good to see you. Let's see. We got Nuclear Family of 4 in the house as well. Good to see you. We've got misinformation. Again, thank you so much for that donation. Salty Matt Jameson in the house. Thank you so much for checking in. Let's see. Daisy Chains, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. Great to see you. Light Spear, good morning. Thank you for checking in. Let's see who else we've got here. And Mr. Tizo checking in bright and early. Thank you for that. All right. Well, let's go ahead and start getting into some things here. Like I said, we are basically just waiting now, as this started about a half an hour ago. The prosecutors in this, what they're calling election interference case, even though it's a hush money case. But anyway, they just got done delivering their remarks, and now Donald Trump's lawyers are delivering their remarks, and so then we will hear from the judge, I'm sure, and he'll hand down his sentencing. X will probably explode with the news, so we're just really waiting on that to happen, and we'll let you guys know as soon as we get word. Or if you guys see word come out, be sure to drop it in the chat, and we'll dive into the mainstream media and see what they're saying. But as you guys know, the Supreme Court denied to intervene in delaying the sentencing for today. And so
he's just going to pardon himself in 10 days.
I mean that, and I mean this really works out for him, even if he doesn't decide to pardon himself, because he can appeal it.
Yeah.
And if the sentencing hadn't been done, this would have basically hung over him for the next 4 years, because of course they wouldn't
They'd
dropped
never
it.
shut up about it. They would have never shut up.
That's right. And so it kind of seems like Trump kind of lured them into another trap by going to the Supreme Court, knowing that they weren't going to do anything about it. Just kind of building up the hopium for the mainstream media and all this.
Absolutely.
Because Mershon, I don't believe is going to put Donald Trump in prison. He's said as much. He's not going to put him behind bars. So they're not going to get what they want anyway. It's just it's more of a symbolic thing for the lefties at this point. Look, another felony
It also
that he's been
gets-
convicted of.
It gets everything in paper, in the system. The legalese is taken care of. So, there's a lot less they can do There's a lot less manipulation that can be done once you have something concrete in the court system. So it was a good idea of him to make the request. It was good on them to deny the request. And if you notice, the judges that denied it are Trump picks. Some of them are Trump picks anyway. So it's part of the plan. It's part of a plan, maybe not the plan, but it's definitely part of a plan.
Yeah, this is a small annoyance to Donald Trump. Probably a large annoyance, but just an annoyance, not a threat of any kind.
At best.
Yeah, I mean, you can see in all of other Donald Trump's actions, like this one right here, that when he met with Senate Republicans, he previewed 100 executive orders that he's going to drop on day one. At least 100.
Oh, and he's gonna, all of these things. You can see how the left comes out and says, "Oh, y'all don't think that Biden was playing y'all, acting dumb and saying the stupid stuff." But you can't give the same credit to the much more intelligent man who's been doing it to you for, we're going on 12 years, 8 years now. He's been doing the same exact thing. He says something to get a reaction. You act stupid. And then it backfires on you. He's playing that's beautiful bread.
Dang, dude.
That's beautiful bread. I had to shut up.
Killing the game. Killing the game, dude.
Killing it, bro.
All right. Whoops, I didn't mean to click into that. Let me zoom this out. All right. Well, let's see what else we've got ready to roll here. Like I said, we'll be paying attention to X here on the side, and we'll see as soon as this drops. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see when that drops. We'll see what happens. All right, so let's start off with some funnies here. Tweak showed me this one last night. I had seen it. Oh, no, not this one. Let's start with this one. Tweak had showed me this last night. I absolutely love this video. I saw it a while ago, forgot all about it. And yeah, but this is great. Here we go. Check this out.
Oh, was that a mockingbird?
Man, is that a mockingbird? Is that a mockingbird?
Oh, was that?
Need a mockingbird? That's perfect.
The mockingbird. Is it mocking you?
Yeah. And so speaking of really good mockery, here you go, guys. Check this out. It's like fucking I'm going into the court.
Oh, he's a crook.
Chama ele.
Ficou brabo, velho.
Oh, you gotta love the Brazilians, man.
Dude, I'm
Gotta
telling
love
you.
Brazilians, bro.
I'm out. I'm out.
Vai dar ruim, vai dar ruim.
Oh, man. That is too good. That is too good. All right, we got some love coming in here. Thank you so much to Nuclear Family of 4 for the 451 gold pills. Really appreciate that. Boom. Then we've got Salty Mad Jameson said, I've got my first cookie fight. Thank you so much. Yeah, hey, I would love to play that right now. And then Burt Cocaine, Misinformation, and Daisy Chains getting in on the action. Couple more, and I think we'll drop it. That sounds good to me. Come on in here. Yes, indeed. All right. Let's see here. What else we got? What else do we got? Oh, this is pretty cool. Bert, you'll also appreciate this one. This is a pretty good imitation right here. Check it out. Oh, hold on. Let me up this volume a little bit. If I can, X, you need to fix your algorithm or whatever, the process of turning volume up on a computer.
Oh man, Carol's Western, go for it.
Right? Right? That was pretty baller.
Yes,
dude.
that was pretty
Fantastic.
cool.
There
That
are
was
That was
so
pretty baller.
there's so many talented Japanese guitarists. It's absolutely unreal. If you just look on Twitter or YouTube, Japanese guitarists, you'll be inundated with tens of thousands of some of the
Oh,
most
yeah.
talented individuals you've ever seen. And it blows my mind, the pool that's over there. Those guys are incredible. They're already a very disciplined people, but then you stick a disciplined instrument in their hand. Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Well, here's another good one for you. This one going out to my World of Warcraft fans out there. I never got into the game myself, but I did watch my fellow soldiers while I was in Korea waste hundreds of hours playing this game.
I had a friend who had a lot of disabilities. He was born with his heart on the outside of him. He grew up having horns on his shoulders from all the stents, and is just a wonderful human being. You know, rest in peace, Mikey. But he made hundreds of thousands of dollars. I used to just watch him play World of Warcraft. It was amazing. He was a grinder. He built stuff for people, and he created an entire market off of him doing stuff and selling. Hey, he made so much money doing that. And I used to just sit around and watch him play. It was incredible.
WoW characters were like the first NFTs.
Right. Absolutely.
Crazy, dude. Anyway, here is and thank you for that story. That's cool. Yeah, I had a friend that sold WoW characters pretty regularly too for like $4,000 or $5,000 a piece. It was absolutely insane.
when you're selling some of these high level characters that are not, you're not hacking or anything like that, or materials, converting materials. That was a big one, was just a conversion in the farming. He'd do farming for people, grind out quests for people, and build characters. He made tons of money doing that. It was his own little, he found a loop. You know, this is back 07, 08, and it was impressive because the guy was only 4 foot. He had every medical problem you can imagine. There was no place for him in commerce, so he created his own place, and it was, you know, much respect. I miss him all the time. I miss my friend Mike.
Well, this one going out to Mike because this is a pretty cool feature that this guy, I guess, programmed into his vehicle. Take a listen.
I feel ready to ride and fight, warrior. How about one of the ancient war cries for all time's sake? Blood and thunder! Turn right, and then turn left.
What the?
I feel
Yes. Yes.
Blood and thunder, then turn
Blood
right.
and thunder. Great.
Oh, man, that's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. All right. Well, everybody loves a good cup of coffee in the morning, but are you getting the most out of your cup of joe? Well, I guess it depends on when you drink it. suggests a new study.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of beverages, Stuck in New York. Thank you so much for that can. Anthony Fauci going to take a little drop of the bomb, man. Nice and early. Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was actually a big brain move on my part using that piece of audio because, again, like, I wish I could find that video. Bert, I'm sure you've seen it. Like, the African commandos that are in that fake-ass helicopter. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
I wish I could find it, dude, because that's where that comes from. And if I could just contextualize that every time the audio screws up, you guys would be like, it works. It totally works.
That's all good.
Key health perks of coffee depend on when you drink it, suggests a new study. Coffee drinkers may want to reconsider their afternoon and evening consumption. A new study suggests drinking it only in the morning can reduce the risks of heart disease and all-cause mortality. Led by a team from Tulane University in New Orleans, the researchers behind the observational study looked at the coffee drinking habits of 40,725 adults, including a subsection of 1,463 individuals who completed a more comprehensive food and drink diet questionnaire. During a median follow-up period of almost 10 years, the morning coffee drinkers were 16% less likely to die of any cause and 31% less likely to die of heart disease than those who didn't drink coffee at all. However, the stats didn't show any reduction in risk for all-day coffee drinkers. This is the first study testing coffee drinking timing patterns and health outcomes, said epidemiologist Lou Kui from Tulane University. Our findings indicate that it's not just whether you drink coffee or how much you drink, but the time of day when you drink coffee that's important. We don't typically give advice about timing in our dietary guidance, but perhaps we should be thinking about this in the future. As usual with an observational study, direct cause and effect isn't implied, just a strong association. The researchers made adjustments for some factors potentially influencing heart health and mortality, including age, sex, physical activity, and sleep patterns, but there are likely many more that they didn't account for, such as genetics. The risk reduction for morning coffee consumers was similar for those who drank moderately 2 to 3 cups per day or heavily 3 or more cups per day. Smaller reductions in risks were seen for light drinkers in the morning group, less than 2 cups. What this study doesn't look into is why this relationship exists, but there are quite a few possibilities. We know that caffeine has a stimulating effect. It could be that this is disrupting the body's natural processes during the afternoon and evening. A possible explanation is that consuming coffee in the afternoon or evening may disrupt circadian rhythms and levels of hormones such as melatonin. This in turn leads to changes in cardiovascular risk factors such as inflammation and blood pressure. Numerous earlier studies have linked coffee consumption to positive health effects, whether it's protecting against high blood pressure and strokes, extending lifespan, or reducing risks of certain type of cancer returning. There are actually hundreds of different substances in coffee, and scientists are still figuring out what they all are and how they all work on the body. In the meantime, you might want to ease up on drinking it later in the day. Further studies are needed to validate our findings in other populations, and we need clinical trials to test the potential impact of changing the time of day when people drink coffee, says Kui. So there you go. Drink coffee in the morning.
One thing I make sure, because I try to have a cup every morning, but I drink water. First thing, the first drink in the morning is water. Get the hydration going, get that brain expanded again because it shrinks, and then I worry about some coffee. But I feel a lot better you'll feel a lot better if you drink a cup of water first. You feel so much better. It'll definitely do its job better.
Faux show. All right. Well, it's not good for your health being a misogynist, because this chick right here is here to show the fellow ladies. And again, I have no idea whether this is real or this is satire, but we live in a day and age where it could be either, and we're just going to laugh either way. And Kevin's already jaw dropped, and it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, Yeah, I can already tell you it's probably real because every piece of furniture she owns is stuck in one room. She didn't need a man, and it shows. What the hell's going on, girl?
She's also wearing
Okay,
camo
let's find
pants
out.
with like a weird sweater, so that's kind of odd. But anyway,
She's
here you go,
two steps
guys.
from Yoko Onism.
Yes, self-defense
Very
tips
close.
for the ladies out there if you are a victim of misogyny. Here you go.
You interrupted me. You interrupted me. That was my idea. I just said that. That was my idea. I just said that. I'd smile more if you didn't make me feel so uncomfortable. I'd smile more if you didn't make me feel so uncomfortable. I don't have time to explain the patriarchy to you right now. I don't have time to explain the patriarchy to you right now. I can tell you don't have any female friends. I can tell you don't have any female friends. Don't mansplain what gaslighting is to me. Don't mansplain what gaslighting is to me. You're projecting your insecurities on me because you feel threatened. You're projecting your insecurities on me because you feel threatened. You don't need to touch my thigh when you talk to me. You don't need to touch my thigh when you talk to me. Don't take credit for my work. Don't take credit for my work. You're making me uncomfortable. You're making me uncomfortable. Your ex isn't crazy. Maybe you just didn't meet her needs. Your ex isn't crazy. Maybe you just didn't meet her needs. You sound uneducated. You sound uneducated.
I feel like she's talking to an ex-boyfriend at this point.
The joke wasn't funny.
You know?
Absolutely.
You don't need to comment on my outfit. You don't need to comment on my outfit. For the girls and the gays anyway. I'm surprised you feel confident saying that out loud. I'm surprised you feel confident saying that out loud. You're gaslighting me. You're gaslighting
She just
me.
got kicked out.
Okay,
This is
I'm
what this
sensitive,
is.
but you're oblivious. Okay, I'm sensitive,
This
but
is
you're
her new
oblivious.
apartment.
Please
Yeah,
don't
you
speak on
see
my
it?
behalf.
Apartment because she just got kicked
Please don't
out.
speak on my
And
behalf.
this is her unpacking.
Yeah.
This is all this is. She's salty because she just got kicked out for whatever she did. The guy was like, "I'm done. Go get your own place." So she did, you know, and this is what it is. And now she's doing a cope video, which, by the way, is very offensive to quadriplegics.
Yep.
That ableist.
How are they supposed to
ableist
kick
bitch.
a man? How are they supposed to kick
Yeah.
a man in the nuts?
I'm telling you,
can't.
man.
How dare you?
Oh.
Yes.
How old
All
are
right.
you? How old are you? You're not even
Well,
having a. Are you
first,
having your midlife crisis?
Before we answer that, she has one last thing to say to you, Kevin.
Okay.
What does she say?
Here comes.
You
Sorry,
interrupted.
Yeah.
You interrupted.
Point of personal privilege.
I can't wait for somebody to
I
say,
love it.
point of white privilege. That'd be great.
I know, right?
That'd be the soundbite of the decade.
Well, you thought that was
Mars.
bad.
No.
Here's another one for you. Being told to calm down and other microaggressions may raise the risk for postpartum hypertension.
Holy Jesus.
Yes, this is a real study. January 10th, 2025, the words calm down are worse than unhelpful. They actually can increase blood pressure among new mothers of color, a study has found.
What color? Purple? Green? Which color?
Gender-based
Calm
racism.
down. You don't know. Oh, no. Not the racism of. Hold on. Not the racism of. I don't. Please don't tell me that these are women of color who are single mothers. Please don't tell me that this article is then going to dissect it and say, is that coming from us?
Yes.
Is this going to be an epic
Because you
read?
You know
Bet
what's
your
coming.
ass.
You guys know what time it is. It's time for an epic read. Whoops, wrong one.
It is time
We have a better version.
There
for
we
an
go.
epic read with 451 action.
Yes, look at my face. More fall weird.
You're glitching.
Glitching. This shit has got me triggered so bad. All right, Kevin, go ahead and finish your point, dude. Sorry.
I will
microaggress.
just simply stand aside as this epic read takes place because I was going to go places which were probably improper.
I mean, we're fixing
There.
to go there anyway. Here we
Yes.
go. Gender-based racism through such microaggressions significantly increased the new mom's blood pressure. Compared to when women not subjected to these sort of comments, researchers reported in a study published January 9th in a whole journal on hypertension. And effects on blood pressure were even more pronounced among women living in areas with high levels of structural racism. It is well known that Black, Hispanic, and South Asian women experience microaggressions during healthcare. It is not well known whether these microaggressions may have an association with higher blood pressure. Lead researcher Teresa Janovic, an associate professor of epidemiology at Columbia University Mailman School of Public Health in New York, said in a news release from the college. For the study, researchers asked nearly 400 women of color who gave birth at 4 hospitals in Philadelphia and New York about the microaggressions they faced during their care. The women range in age from 16 to 46, with about 43% between 20 and 29. Examples included, "Have been disrespected. Someone told me to calm down. Someone accused me of being angry when speaking assertively." Nearly 2 in 5 women reported at least one instance of microaggression during their pregnancy care. Those who experienced one or more instances of microaggression had average systolic blood pressure that was 2.12 points higher, and diastolic that was 1.43 points. Call an ambulance! Systolic blood pressure means the pressure in arteries during a heartbeat, and diastolic the pressure between. Women living in areas with more structural racism had even higher differences in blood pressure due to microaggression. Systolic readings with 7.5 points higher and diastolic readings 6 points higher. A preventative health expert not involved in the research, Natalie Cameron, called the effects observed in the study profound. For many people, this can make the difference between needing blood pressure lowering medications or not. Cameron, an instructor in preventative medicine at Northwestern University's Feinberg School of Medicine, that says it all, said in a news release, future research is needed to better explore how racism influences blood pressure, as well as its effects on health of mothers and their infants, researchers said. This work serves as a reminder of the long-term impact that racism can have on the overall health. The magnitude of these types of physiologic changes may become cumulative over time and lead to the inquiries that we see in many health outcomes, inequities, said Dr. Lisa Levine, director of the Pregnancy and Heart Disease Program and chief of the Maternal Fetal Medicine Division at the University of Pennsylvania Perelman School of Medicine, concluded in a news release. Epic fade.
What's fetal? I mean, they mean that clump of cells. That's what they mean. There's no such thing as a fetus.
Right?
It's just a concept that white men came up with.
Just a happy accident.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did you guys think about the racism?
I try not to. Just be racist.
Where were the examples?
There are none, Kevin.
Someone got told to calm down. And someone
You
said you sound
right
angry
now.
when you're being assertive. So that raised someone's blood pressure, especially when there's systemic racism, by 7 points.
Especially when they're screaming and throwing things at people, you're going to feel that.
Dennis Thompson just wanted to stir the pot today, I guess. Okay.
I guess. Well, speaking of stirring the pot and Johnson, here is this individual, Kevin, which you have aptly named Earthworm Jim.
Yes.
Misgendered 3 times. Let's take a listen.
been misgendered 3 times.
Hold on, I'm turning it up,
24
sorry.
hours at restaurants. Last night, I was at Benihana with my girlfriend, and the server said, "What about you, sir? What would you like to eat?" My girlfriend, God bless her heart, steps in, says, "Actually, that's ma'am." And she looks at my girlfriend and didn't really understand what had happened and said, "No, I'm talking to him," pointing at me. Our jaws were on the floor, and
Give that man a
we decided
medal.
to leave because it was just a bad vibe.
It was a chick.
And just a few minutes ago, I was at
even
another
better.
restaurant for lunch, and they showed me my seat and said, "Here you go, sir." And I said, "I am not a sir." And then I
You've
left
got your
because I
microphone
wasn't
on your
comfortable
dog
anymore.
collar.
And I went to a new
Freak.
restaurant, and I asked, before I sit down, where's the bathroom, please? And they said, "Oh, it's right this way, sir." And I just left because I wasn't
Because you're
comfortable
6'3"
anymore.
and you
If
have
you're
an
a server in the
Adam's
food
apple the
industry,
size of a
you don't
pear.
need to use words like sir or ma'am. There are ways to be respectful without using those words. And if you get it wrong for someone like me, I will probably leave the restaurant. And it puts like a bad vibe on my day when it happens, especially when it happens 3 times in a row.
And it wasn't your hair.
This dude is only doing this to get free food at places and make $90,000 a year off the interaction on the internet. That's all he's doing this for.
$90,000 a year and can't get a proper conditioner for those curls.
Right?
Yeah.
Just all look at that. I put the conditioner.
Well,
up here,
that's
put the
without his
conditioner on my
donations.
ends.
That's just the interaction. Because he talked about it last year. That's just the interaction money that he gets off TikTok. Let alone the side donations from all of his transsexual buddies or whatever. Yeah, he's killing it. He's killing it, and he gets free meals. That's because they comp him every time
while looking like a mess.
The dude is huge. This is not a little tiny guy either.
Right.
This is not some little dainty 5'2"
big mess.
Yeah, he's a big mess. A big mess. 6'2", 220. He's not little. like just because you put on a cardigan and a skirt, it never made you.
Let the salt flow.
Oh!
Look at this, guys. Just a few minutes ago, New York judge sentences Trump to a penalty-free unconditional discharge. So he sentenced him to nothing?
Nothing.
All this for nothing.
I mean, it was a civil case.
Can we tune in to the mainstream media and see how they're taking it?
I
Kevin?
recorded it. I hit the record button. So yes.
Let's do it.
We can back up. As a matter of fact, we can back up to that point in time. Let's see. Where are we?
Myself in one of those moments where you don't really feel, but you know.
Let me back up right about here. Let's see.
Deny Trump's last-minute appeal last night, CNN's Laura Coates is outside the New York court. Laura, walk us through where things stand right now. A lot of things happening at this very moment.
This was at 9/11. They posted it, so you might need a few more minutes ahead. Just a couple more minutes ahead.
So you want me to go a few more minutes ahead? She's about to say it. It's like at 9:10.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought us to that period in time.
Oh, well, excuse me.
You are forgiven. You are so forgiven. Okay, here we go.
May not have been here, but for the Supreme Court last night deciding in a 5-4 decision, a very tight ruling where Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Amy Coney Barrett joined with the so-called liberal justices to say that this could go forward. We knew from the judge it was unlikely that this is going to be a jail imposition or a probation period or a fine. The judge has now had an opportunity to review a probation report written in connection with interviews from the president-elect and the probation officer, who said during the report that it seemed that Trump believed he was, quote, above the law. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, the president-elect, soon to be president in just 10 days, is arguing that the indictment itself should never have been brought. The Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, was wrong to bring this, and that, in fact, the American people, according to Todd Blanche, who will be number 2 at the DOJ following his inauguration, has believed that the American people did not want a case like this to be brought under a category of lawfare. The judge, Judge Merchan, has said which is the understatement of a lifetime. This has been a truly extraordinary case. Indeed, it has been. We have never seen a time when an American president, former, of course, or president-elect, has been convicted of felony counts, this to the tune of 34. Now, it is a Class E felony in the state of New York, which normally does not necessarily bring a jail time. It's not universally accepted as that, but it doesn't always have jail time. But the idea of no probation, no fine is directly connected from the decision of the judge, it seemed, and we're waiting to hear that final point. This is a president-elect who has argued that he would be unable to fully govern if he were to have certain contingencies or conditions above him. He does note, the judge said, it is the office of the presidency that is extraordinary, not the occupant of the office. But again, he is a president-elect. Trump wanted this to be delayed until after he became the president again. The judge thought it was incumbent on the decision to honor the jury's verdict and, of course, the rule of law to allow this particular defendant and all defendants to have the finality of a sentence. Jim, although we are using the phrase convicted felon, there is a slight nuance to this. It is not a done deal until after the sentence. And then that's the catalyst to be able to have your full appellate rights and go after all the different legal issues here. Mershon says that once the courtroom doors closed, the trial was no different from any other in the courthouse. I was in that courthouse. I got to tell you, what was so extraordinary, aside from the fact that it was the former president of the United States there, is that he was being treated, and in a courtroom, unlike any other, not like any other defendant, when the rule of law and the criminal prosecution and the weight of your name after a jurisdiction versus is in front of you.
Yeah, and Laura, I guess when this is all said and done, and you were just saying, and we've all been saying, we expect there not to be a sentence of jail time or anything like that for the president-elect. But take us through the next steps. He'll be able to appeal the conviction. That process continues on even while he's president?
Oh, yes, he wants it to continue on. He does not want this title of convicted felon. He does not believe that this case should have been resurrected according to the laws and on the books. But remember, ever since this case even started, he was convicted and a verdict entered back in May of last year. The Supreme Court has issued this interim opinion about immunity, that not only can you not prosecute a sitting president for official acts, but you can't use official acts to then form the basis of evidence in criminal matters. Trump believes that his statements and statements that were made to people who were a part of the administration and beyond, whether it be Hope Hicks or others, should not have been allowed to be entered into the evidence and therefore could have unduly tainted the jury's view of the case. Mershon is saying, however, the considerable, indeed extraordinary legal protections afforded the office of the chief executive is a factor that overrides all else in his sentencing. But remember, he's a president-elect, so a lot of that is not applied to him yet, and the judge wanted this done beforehand. This will be quite a slap on the wrist. I'm curious if the judge will, in fact, address the contempt or even the statements Trump has made about the judge and his family as well.
All right, Laura Coates, thank you very much. With me now, CNN anchor and chief White House correspondent Caitlin Collins and CNN senior legal analyst and former federal prosecutor Ellie Honig.
Dylan Mulvaney.
Ellie, let me go to you first. What's your reaction to what we've been hearing so far?
Well, it's pretty orderly, all things said. Donald Trump seems to have gone on a little bit of a tirade, but nothing unpredictable, nothing different from
I love
what he
how
said
everybody
before.
can
One thing that
say
I think
have
is
their
interesting is
and
there's
voice
been
their opinions
no talk
publicly
whatsoever, except from Donald
him,
Trump,
but he's not allowed
about
to do
the actual
same.
conduct that Donald Trump
He's not allowed to be pissed.
Guilty for. For a while,
can't
the
even
DA
have
was
an
trying to say
opinion,
this
let alone be
conduct
pissed.
of hiding the hush money payments.
Is that
there we go. So
right
that's
there?
the official moment of the sentence. Donald Trump has now been sentenced to an unconditional discharge.
What does that mean?
That means that it is now official, that Donald Trump has been convicted of a felony. There's two parts of that equation, the conviction, and now we have part two, the sentence. So that is a moment. We now have Donald Trump. I guess you can technically, if you would like to call him a convicted felon, that is a label that now technically applies. But of course, he does have his appeal rights. But again, the focus has been, okay, lawyers are packing up. So
yeah, Judge Mershon is off the bench. So it happened that quickly.
In a lot of ways, not that different from any other sentencing. It took 38 minutes. That's about average for sentencing in state court. But the focus has largely been on Trump's out-of-court conduct.
Yeah, Caitlin, what do you think? You've been watching all this.
Well, the most interesting statement from Judge Mershon just a few moments ago before he left the bench was acknowledging Trump's election win. He was saying, you know, ordinary citizens don't get these kind of legal protections. It's the office of the presidency that is bestowing these to the office holder. And he said, it is the citizens citizenry of this nation that recently decided that you should once again receive the benefits of those protections, essentially acknowledging that, yes, because Donald Trump is going to be inaugurated in a few days, that is changing the sentencing here. I mean, if this had happened in July before he had actually won, you could see, that was way before he was afforded those protections and how different that was.
And Caitlin, you were reporting that Donald Trump did not have to appear in court this morning. He did this over video.
Yeah, I think one thing that I noticed from attending this trial when it was going on is that the way that the Trump team has framed Justice Merchan and how he acts here is so different than what I personally witnessed and reported on from court, which is that the judge actually goes out of his way and bends over backwards a lot of the time to accommodate Donald Trump. He was never bothered when Trump was sitting there, hitting his attorneys, passing them notes, talking sometimes out loud during
hitting
the hearing.
them,
and instead he allowed
he was
him
hitting
to go
them
virtually
like he
from
reached for the steering
Mar-a-Lago
wheel of the
with his
beast.
attorney there, Todd Blanche, another attorney I believe was in
Is that
court.
a photo? We're looking at it right now.
Yeah, and so see the two of them appearing side by side. He was not there actually in the courtroom, which, as Ellie would note, I would assume is pretty unusual for
almost
you to not be
unheard of.
present.
Yeah, why isn't he there?
Ellie, what do you make of these images that we're looking at right here?
Well, I don't know. Maybe because he's busy talking to world leaders
Right, and look,
and
this is a
preparing to run the
criminal
country.
defendant
I
at
don't
his
know.
sentencing, sitting in front of the American flag. I mean, I promise you that's never happened before in American history. But
I'm
as
sorry,
Caitlin said,
isn't there
the
an
judge
American
made
flag
clear
in
that you are
every
only
fucking
getting the sentence
courtroom
the
in the
DA
United
said
States?
because of your status as president. And look, in
Are
our
you
legal and
fucking
constitutional
kidding
system,
me?
The president just is different. One thing we will never know, I wish we could somehow figure this out, what would the sentence have been if Trump had not won the election, right? I mean,
Are you
there
kidding
certainly
me
would have been
right
some sort
now?
of probation. Judge Merchan, would he have sentenced to prison? It's one of those hypotheticals we'll
and
never
Ellie,
know.
because Laura Coates was saying just a few moments ago that this was essentially a slap on the wrist. This is actually less than that.
I was going to say, at least you feel a slap
Right,
on the
yeah.
wrist. I'm not sure that this is even...
Well, then it's nothing.
The conviction of
It's
Fisher.
nothing. It is nothing.
It's absolute nothing.
If we could show that image
It's just
one more
like
time
Bert said
of
earlier,
Trump with his attorney
it's
there
just
in that
a-
monitor.
it is
that
just
is something else.
so
and at
that
one
the-
point,
that
I think
these
we just saw an
idiots
image
can
of
go
him
out
sort
and
of
call him
pointing
a
his
felon.
finger. There
That's
it is,
all it is.
at the camera.
That's all it is.
I guess we
Whatever.
don't know what is going on there, but we can guess.
And it's
also
something
just
that
to
shouldn't
think
have
of it in
even
the
been
full
a
circle
felony.
moment of, we were covering the White
They
House when the
created
story
it
was
to
kind of
be a
first
felony.
unraveling and being reported publicly, and we learned about the hush money payments and learned about the cover-up and watched Rudy Giuliani go on TV and talk
How
about this.
dare he have
That
the
was so
American flag
interesting,
behind
and
him?
to see how that has
I'm
developed
sorry,
I've
from
been in
that
the
moment to
courtroom
now, Trump
most
appearing
more than
virtually
most
for
lawyers.
this
Okay,
sentencing,
I
which,
have
his
gotten
attorneys
myself
and people in his
out
orbit, his
of
top advisors
jail
argued, this is
34
pretty much a
times
best-case
using the legal
scenario from
system.
where we were when
He
this
was
guilty
never
verdict
going
came
to
down
have
last
any
May. They,
any
a lot of options, as Ellie
kind
noted,
of
had he lost,
actual
could have happened.
consequences to the sentencing because it is
Yeah.
simply hush money.
dropped it, Kevin.
and it was complete what he did. They could run their mouths all they want. The information is there. Whether Merchan is well, of course he's a lefty piece, but you still have to take in Stormy Daniels' letter where she admitted that it never happened. Trump didn't make the accounting error. That was an accountant.
Yeah, it was Cohen. It
Yeah,
was Cohen
it was
that did all
Cohen.
this shit.
Okay, so none of this was ever going to lead to Trump ever going to jail in any situation. And about 90% of people who are convicted on civil charges never see a jail room. I know this 100%. These people are manufacturing bullshit on a daily basis. They're the people we need to go at. There needs to be accountability in the media, let alone our government, but in the media, because they are the interface. They are the medium between us and all that. We spend a lot of time worrying about our government. Those guys change every couple of years. These people sit here unelected, spouting lies and contemptible conversation, talking points every single day with no consequences. That's who people need to go after. We need to handle these media talking heads. You take care of them and you'll never have a problem again dealing with your government.
That's right.
Ever again.
Yep. Get rid of the mouthpiece.
There needs to be no medium between us and our government ever
That's right.
again.
All right. Well, Trump has released a statement. This one from Red Wave Press. After he was...
I love that unconditional.
Yes, unconditional
Love
discharge. Trump wrote on Truth Social, the radical Democrats have lost another pathetic, un-American witch hunt after spending tens of millions of dollars wasting over 6 years of obsessive work that should have been spent on protecting New Yorkers from violent, rampant crime that is destroying the city and state, coordinating with the Biden-Harris Department of Injustice in lawless weaponization, and bringing completely baseless, illegal, and fake charges against your 45th and 47th president, me. I was given an unconditional discharge. The results alone prove that. As legal scholars and experts have said, there is no case, there was never a case. And this whole scam fully deserves to be dismissed. The real jury, the American people, have spoken by re-electing me with an overwhelming mandate in one of the most consequential elections in history. As the American people have seen, this case had no crime, no damages, no proof, no facts, no law, only a highly conflicted judge, a star witness who was a disbarred, disgraced, serial perjurer, Michael Cohen, and a criminal election interference. Today's event was a despicable charade, and now that it is over, we will appeal this hoax, which has no merit, and restore the trust of Americans in our once great system of justice. Make America great again. Dang. Woo!
And the sentencing proves that there is no merit in the case. If there was if there's no consequences in the sentence, then there's no merit to the case.
Just an empty sentence.
No merit.
So that they can say, yep, it's official.
Empty.
Convicted felon.
Just a reason to spend $300 million of New York's tax dollars.
Just absolutely insane. 6 years.
Could we please stop making fun of retarded people? It's tacky.
What if we are retarded?
Not talking.
I mean, I get a little bit of leeway here.
Don't step on my joke.
Oh man. Anyway. So yeah, there we go, guys. We've got the official word, and X is ablaze with some pretty hilarious takes. Good to see that. Good to see that. Did Trump come out? Oh, Mark Levin, I guess, went off. Let's see. Waiting to see if Trump actually would come out and say something about this specifically. All right. Doesn't look like he's going to say anything to reporters, at least not yet. I'm sure once he gets back to Mar-a-Lago, he will unleash on a news conference. Let's see. Yes. Did he call in? No. Nope. All right. Jonathan Turley. Okay. All right. Let's get into some more stuff that we have here. I know that was wacky, whatever the hell that was.
It was German, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, very German. You can just tell. It's very, very German.
Well, the Senate Democrats released a video. I don't know if you guys saw this, pledging to oppose Trump's bad policies, and it's being mocked as cringe, which it most certainly is. Senator Booker himself looks like a slightly ornery 7th grader who has been told not to mess up the class video, a college professor joked. All right, here we go. This is Cory Booker releasing this video of Senate Democrats vowing to fight Donald Trump at every turn and his bad policies. Here you go. Take a listen.
Here. Okay.
Okay.
How's my tie? Is it okay? Am I straight?
Here we go.
We're different.
Wisconsin.
Rhode Island.
Hawaii.
New York.
From the Great Lakes.
To the Mountain West.
The Pacific Northwest.
To the South.
And the Northeast.
Coast to coast.
We have differences.
And some disagreements. But Senate Democrats are fiercely united on this.
We are not here because of who we are against.
We are here because of who we are for. Every one of us was elected to fight for working Americans.
For American families.
For you.
Hold on. What's the matter, Kevin? What's the matter?
Amy Klobuchar.
Klobuchar.
Tina Smith, Klobuchar, that whole group. Okay.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to see her again. Here we go.
Against. We are here because of who we are for. Every one of us was elected to fight for working Americans. For American
I'm gonna go have another
families.
cigarette.
For you. For you. For you.
We're here to make housing more affordable.
To help working Americans keep more of their hard-earned paychecks. To lower the
I'm
cost
giving it
of
to
child
illegals.
care.
Prescription drugs.
And yes, groceries.
To help small businesses thrive.
And every child have a safe and great public education.
We are here to fight.
We really mean it.
To fight for
We're
America.
here to fight.
We will work with anyone
Anyone, if they want to make life better for you. But
If Donald Trump and Senate Republicans,
do things to hurt you.
we will fight.
we will fight. If they come after affordable health care, if they pursue policies that drive up costs,
If they ignore the threat of climate change,
Oh my gosh!
troops and veterans benefits,
If they ignore the
take away access
seasons.
to reproductive rights, attack our basic freedoms.
If they try to
I've got
enrich
an eel
their
around my
friends,
neck.
if they pay for tax cuts for the wealthy by coming after your paycheck,
Your Social
Red onion.
Security,
It's a
your
giant red
Medicare,
onion.
they will have to come through us. Through
Oh,
us.
shut up! You can't even look at the camera, bitch.
this is a new Congress.
It
Can't
is a
see
new
the camera.
day.
We are united.
Determined. Ready.
The 119th Congress has begun.
Chuck just pulled that suit out of the
Let's go.
drawer.
Let's
like
get
where
to
the
work.
Let's get to work.
Let's
Get
go.
Warnock out of my face.
Here we go.
Destroying-
Let's get started.
Yeah.
Let's get started. What the hell have you been doing?
Yeah, you've been there
No,
for
right? Like-
decades. What are you doing? Exactly. Let's finally do our job. You never do your job. You never do your job. You don't have
Oh
a job.
my gosh! They got him in a
Split the
casting
check.
closet. What the hell is going on in here?
They couldn't even afford a proper green screen. It's like this wide. It's like
I
a
know.
photo
Oh, this
booth.
is for TikTok,
Ugh.
bro. This is directly for TikTok. Cory Booker is a TikTok. He's a TikToker. That's all he's good for.
So our tax dollars paid for this bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes, it sure
For
did.
this crappy scripted production, which
Yeah,
didn't even move. All it moved me to was rage, and now
That's
I
it.
have to let it go. Give it to God.
Yeah,
Us
this is all
broke-
of us right here.
A bunch of broke ass live streamers. We have better production. We do better deep dives. We have better analysis. We have more concise and well respected opinions than any of these people.
And we listened to our audience. They wanted
Absolutely.
me in a someone wanted me in a mountain green pasture, and that's where I ended
That's
up
what you
for
get.
anyone who, because I listened to the audience.
That's right.
So does
Heck
he,
yeah.
or so does he. That way.
We always,
Him.
always.
Right
It's always
there.
about
Yes.
it's always about the viewer. It's never about us.
Right?
Well, this is what all of us probably felt like listening to that. I know I did. And Scott Jennings really lays it on right here. Here you go. This is so good.
Tell me it's got the
What
music.
diversity, equity, and inclusion has always been about is saying, you know what, open this up. Don't just look at the white men. Open it up and recognize that other people can be qualified. And the fact that we want to, at a time when people are dying, decide that a country of immigrants is failing or people are dying because the same very people that built this country, because the last time I checked, y'all didn't say that anything was wrong with the White House, and I can promise you, it was my ancestors that built the White House. So listen, if we have been good enough to build this country, we are good enough to...
You tell me. Let's just please stop.
Is that Crockett going and flapping, bumping
Yes,
her gums
that-
at him this whole time?
Yes,
Okay.
that's Jasmine Crockett.
Jesus. I'm sorry. Slaves built the White House. Oh, Jesus. I can't help it, man.
Oh, man. So good.
Oh no! Cali
What's
girl,
up?
were you affected by the fires?
I'm so sorry.
Ay, ay, ay.
Oh,
Cali
man.
girl.
Were you, is that what happened? Please tell me the $300 a night Hyatt was because you guys were having a vacation and not because you got displaced. Cali girl, my girl.
Yeah, please.
Of
Let
course
us
I'm
know
praying
what's
for
going
you.
on with that.
Oh my
my
word.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about that, the fires and a new one popping up overnight. Started by arson. Okay, no, she's not been affected. Okay, that's good.
Oh, thank God. Oh, girl. Almost gave me a heart attack. Well,
my goodness.
Not literally a heart attack because you know me and
Not
stuff like that, but
directly.
you know in
Okay.
my heart of hearts. You know my heart of hearts
well.
almost had a heart attack. That one. Yes.
We
We'll
do
certainly
have
keep
a
you-
lot of
Okay.
our
All right,
family,
good.
a lot of our family, our friends are in that area. Rose is right out there. She's in Victorville. She's
Yep.
not too far from where all this is going on. There's a lot of us that a lot of our viewers, a lot of our friends are very, very close to where this is going on.
Yes.
And we got you. Believe me, we've got you in our mind. We're not oblivious to this.
Yes, indeed. Yep, we do have a lot of friends in Cali, just like Salty Matt Jameson said as well. All right. So, out of the Senate Democrats, one of these jokers has actually surprised me quite a bit, and that's John Fetterman.
Dude. Well,
He
said that.
trolled-
Well, I mean, his last name lets you know he's not going to be publicly siding with the left after they sit there and attack. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
He
Yes.
He can understand the conservative viewpoint on a lot of this when the left literally calls for his death.
Yeah. And so they asked him about a trip that he's getting ready to take down to Mar-a-Lago. He's going down to talk to Donald Trump. And this is what he had to say. This guy pumps me up, dude.
Hey, Senator. Can we ask you what you hope to get out of your visit to Mar-a-Lago to talk to Donald Trump?
What are we talking about here? Is there some news?
There's some news. We hear that you're going to be heading down to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yes, I've heard that. Yeah.
What will you be discussing with the president?
Well, yeah, I demand that I need to be made Pope of Greenland.
Do you have the resume to be Pope?
I'm having a conversation like he's the president, is going to be. So, I am not the senator for just Democrats in Pennsylvania. I'm everyone's senator in Pennsylvania. And so it's just having a conversation with
Fucking big ogre bastard.
I don't know if you can hear me. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
on
No
the
problem.
Lincoln bill, and I was a co-sponsor of that. So, so
Can you?
Okay, then. Okay.
I want to be the Pope of Greenland. All right. Nice. No, but he says the truth. He's like, listen, I'm a senator for all Pennsylvanians, not just the Democrats. And so I'm going to find some common ground with the incoming president. Wow, what a novel concept.
Yes.
And you notice
Has
he
his wife
wasn't in
ever
that
turned up?
stupid ass video. He wasn't in that stupid ass video that they tried to produce either.
No, he wasn't in that video. And also, they're not using him as a prop anymore. They're not using his family as props anymore. What happened with all that? Because for a hot second there, weren't they just like using the hell out of him as some sort of psychological conditioning tool for the masses?
Yep.
I guess
Absolutely
perhaps
crazy.
maybe God's healing touch fell upon him, I guess, after that whole miracles happen. All right. All right.
Craziness. All right, well, a senator that we are all aware of resigned today. That would be Senator J.D. Vance, who has officially resigned his Senate seat effective today.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can we carry this over? Can we carry this over after the commercial?
Yes, we absolutely can, because we are indeed getting ready to head to pilled.net exclusively, my friends. So those of you guys over there on Rumble, those guys over on Kick, YouTube, wherever the heck else we are streaming right now, over on X, please head over to pilled.net, search for No Prisoners Podcast. You folks over there on Rumble have a nice convenient link to come and make an account, absolutely free, and it'll bring you right into this chat of wonderful people right here. If I can get on the right page of my stream deck. Here we go. These wonderful people right here who will welcome you with open arms. because they want as many badasses in this chat as we can possibly squeeze in here. And I know that 2025 is going to be the year of 300 plus in our chat.
Yes.
300 plus. I'm willing it, praying for it. I want 300 people to hop into this chat every stream starting sometime in the middle of the year. I think we can get there, guys. But I need your guys' help, so please hit the red pill.
Yes.
Please hit the red pill, hit the repost button, and let's get as many folks in here as we can. What were you going to say, Kevin?
Why not by this quarter? Yes, let's just go for it.
We certainly can. Yes, indeed. All right. And those of you guys that aren't going to be joining us, make sure you head over to NoPrisonersProductions.com. You guys can click on the NPP Insiders, and after the show ends, about an hour or two after the show ends, I have started posting the show notes / a newsletter that you guys can check out. It also includes a link to the workspace on Microsoft Edge. So if you guys have Microsoft Edge on your PC and you want to see literally every tab, including the ones that we don't get to, if you guys want to see every tab that we have for the show, I give you guys access to that after the show is over. I've got them nice and organized in a workspace, and you guys can get into that. So check out the NPP Insiders. It's over there on Ko-Fi, and that monthly support helps out the show a lot. So if not, we'll see you guys again on Monday, although we will be having probably a fish cam later on tonight or Saturday night, and we will be doing the BCE radio show on Sunday. But as far as the NPP is concerned, we will be back on Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. So we'll hope to see you guys over here on Pilled. If not, we'll see you then. Here's a nice little video that Kevin made for you guys. Check it out.
Good morning, rise and shine. It's another morning with the No Prisoners podcast, and we're honored to have you as a patriotic viewer. By this time, you should have had at least 1 cup of coffee, or whichever beverage you consume in the morning. Just thinking of you, sitting there, enjoying the show gives me pause to think about a story some feller told me not too long ago.
Come on, let me have a cookie.
Are you kidding me? Do you know what these things can do?
Come on, give me.
I said no. It's been decades.
Yeah, and guess what? Now I'm a freaking wizard, so I'm going to release these cookies.